All right, let's get started here. What should we start with? I haven't seen Rat King in a while, actually. And I still have never done this quest, I think, fully. He usually ends up dying, or like things stop spawning before you can get all 25. Now let's keep it on. You know, we'll just, if we find him, we find him. Let's start with Mesa, I guess. He might spawn on Mesa. There's a chance he spawns on Mesa. No meds. What character? Hey Jamie, how's it going? Let's go over to Shaman here. Our nice big rig. Hey Reed. You know what? I mean, we don't have a silencers, right? We're not using silencers. Let's rock the TKB. Why not? We probably don't need that much ammo. 360 is fine. Jump or not the jump? We don't need a jump. Hey Flames, how's it going? Alright, so we're looking for Rat King to see if he's in a spot or not. And if he's not there, we're going for the sniper. Hey Duffs. Hey Boo Boo. Yeah, I've been getting... I haven't had a grabber in a while for Underkiller, but I have had a lot of Orgamechs recently. Like, I would never get Orgamechs before, but suddenly, recently, it's just been a lot of Orgamechs. Thankfully, they're incredibly derpy. I know Miles was saying, though, apparently he wants that fixed, or it's been fixed, so we might be seeing scarier Orgamechs in the near future. I mean, the Orgamech HK is like... The medium mech HK is kind of annoying, but like, you can usually live if you just run away and have a jump. The Orgamech HK is kind of a fucking meme. But no, the Grabber HK is by far the worst, since it's basically just, you're dead if you're any character below 2k. No worries, boo-boo. Nah. Like I said, I would hope to eventually... I hope we see countermeasures for the dog in the future that will, like, give us a little bit more breathing room. I don't have a dog. I do plan on eventually getting one eventually. TM. Though what kind I want to get constantly changes. I definitely want like a medium to larger size dog. I don't really want a pet dog, like a little pocket dog. Like, I would never get a husky because huskies just require too much attention. But like, I've thought about Rotties. I've thought about GSDs. I'm not sure if I would want to go for a golden. Goldens cost a lot too. Goldens cost a lot. I mean, you can probably find a rescue one, but like even the rescue ones are in high demand, right? Oh no, I wouldn't go that big. Yeah, I wouldn't go like I'm a livestock guardian dog, by no means. Like the general size I'm mostly referring to is in like the Roddy or GSD. That's as big as I would probably go. And like, I do really like the whole, I do like an intelligent dog. Like a border collie does sound interesting, but at the same time, I feel like I wouldn't be able to like consistently keep them engaged enough because they're so damn smart. All right, so no sniper here. Well, yeah, it's not even like it's the stubbornness of the Huskies is one thing, but it's also the whole just like they have a lot of energy you need to like release. They're a very demanding dog in that regard, and same thing with a collie. Oh, there are some. Typically, that is like usually a bladder issue read. I know because I had a dog that was like that too. Typically, if they're prone to bladder issues or they have a bladder issue, they do have issues of that regard. Because I had a West Highland Terrier when I was growing up, and she had the exact same issue where she would piddle with like whenever she gets excited, and she was like she had a benign, or not even benign, she had a like, well, it was mostly benign, but I think it was still growing, a tumor in her bladder. So some dogs are just very predisposed to that. Intromatic, no. No, my West Highland Terrier. Not me, not me. We're talking about dogs. Yeah, I think they like that's usually the mix I'm going for, Jamie. Like, the right mix of couch potato plus enjoys playing. Like a dog that's not like full energy, but also like doesn't mind, you know, wrestling a bit here and there. Like I think a Rottweiler would be great, but I think Rotties are probably on the upper size of where I would want to go for a first dog. Because they are big boys. But this changes constantly too. It depends on what mood I'm in also. Yeah, a lab's always like a good starter, right? Oh yeah, labs are super sweet. I think my reservation with labs, I don't know. I do like labs, but at the same time too, they, I don't know. They're super sweet, but they can kind of be on the upper side in regards to like, they're a dog where I feel like you need to constantly exercise them, otherwise they get pretty, they have a very big food drive, and they will tend to get overweight very quickly if you don't keep them well exercised. And that's like, you can say that about all dogs too, right? But some dogs will do a better job of burning off their own energy, I feel like. Or that, or just not being like obsessed with food. Ah, what the hell? Just go away. My uncle had a lab, and or I think it's still alive. Been talking to my uncle in a while. Is that a? Oh yeah, HKs. And like, I enjoy the presence of labs, but sometimes, at least that lab was a lot. That lab would just never calm down. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy wrestling a dog here and there, but at the same time, it would always want to wrestle. Hold on. Yeah.
Beneath the ash means safety, if you can stand the smell.
We got one done. Yeah, I think we're gonna keep this on for now and see if we can't eventually get Rat King. Yeah, like, yeah. That's my main reservation, 'cause I know, like, I just don't think I've ever I don't think I've ever met a lab with that doesn't have an insane food drive, right? And like, it's not like a food drive in the sense of like where they're overly protective about their food. It's just that like they will constantly just like they will just eat everything. Oh, quite fair. Though I will say too, if I got a Roddy, I would just make sure they're not docked though. I do know that like Roddies do have to get docked occasionally because like there are instances where docking your dog is necessary, right? Because sometimes they will like they can't control their tail very well and they will end up just hurting their tail a lot. And that's an instance where you're actually doing the dog a favor by docking their tail. But other than that, no, I wouldn't try to do it. Like, some dogs will get so excited and they can't control themselves that they'll literally, like, actually break bones in their tail. I guess we're gonna go over to Mausoleum now. I just really want to find Rat King. I never see him. I think that's the two things I want to do today. I want to do A, I want to get Rat King, and then B, I want to get Nighttime Scrapyard. I haven't gotten Nighttime Scrapyard in forever. Like, actually forever. Yeah, I wonder what their end game is with gachas. Like, is it just like a placeholder for like a good loot item, or is it actually gonna like persist throughout the game? Oh, Greyhounds? I imagine that's probably for aerodynamics. Or like that and weight, I guess. But yeah, I guess I would imagine a tail only causes drag, right? Yeah, like conceptually, like, gachas are fine, but at the same time, I really just want them to explore the idea of having, like, high, like different areas of loot and rarity, depending on how dangerous or not dangerous an area is. Like, it's fine for now to have just, like, influx here and there, but... They do have sounds now. I feel like it honestly needs to be a bit louder. Well, maybe not louder, but like it doesn't cut off as quickly. Also, please don't hurt me. I'm sorry, brawlers. Those brawlers are the scariest thing in the game that you can kill. Like, well, longer in the sense that you can hear it further away, Dill. Yeah, like it would be longer in essence, yeah. But like a bigger like radius too, so like as they're heading out, you would hear it for longer. Hey, Booch. Yeah, further away, longer. Yeah, it's interchangeable in this instance. No, Rat King. Like, if you ever heard like an Apache or like, oh, hold on. All right, we're good. Like, if you ever like hear like a plane overhead, right? Or like a helicopter, it's insanely loud, and you hear it from pretty far away too. Especially when they're like, what, like 120, like 100 meters off the ground. Like, those planes aren't that high. I wonder if they're supposed to be stealth too. Like, I imagine also, like, sort of like the Stuka, you would have almost like a, you would make a sound on purpose to kind of like strike fear into your enemy. It does raise the question too of like seeing other like factions air units. Like, are there still jets around? Is it helicopters? Like, are we gonna see planes overhead? Wait, what do you mean by crouching? Is there something wrong with crouching? If you crouch midair, you can do this. Hold on, wait. The extra height is so nice. Oh no, it does now. Crouching does affect detection now. So that was their hotfix change, Reed. Is they made it so like right now when you stand up, it's the old 6 and 12 meters, or 6 or 9 meters depending on your character. Crouching now removes that. So if you're willing to crouch, thanks, Daddy. You too. If you're willing to crouch and move around, Reed, you don't have that detection sphere anymore. They can still see you visually, but for the most part, they can't hear you anymore. Nice, Bob. Congratulations. Now. Is indeed Friday. From the look on the Discord right now too, it looks like they're planning to do a closed beta. A closed beta soon, and I don't mean like a closed, I wouldn't even say beta, a closed play test. I imagine it can, so apparently Next Fest is next week. And if you're unfamiliar with Next Fest, it's basically like a bunch of EA games, don't go on sale per se, but they get like basically like their own little page. They get promoted essentially. And they usually like show demos too. And I don't think they're in time for that unless they like push out a patch to the beginning of next week. But conceptually, it's pretty interesting. Daddy, no. Yeah, destroids are only good for selling now. Okay, well, bye. Tabletop stream, what? Thanks, Jamie, appreciate it. Oh, hey, Professional, how's it going? Well, there is a reason why I only like play this game when I'm streaming, and it's for that reason exactly. I have been very careful to like moderate my playtime for that exact reason. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the game, but like, yeah, like, there's only so much you can do in this game, hence why we're doing the no HUD, no healing, no silencers. Grenade launchers, and they're all quest objects, Daddy. I'm gonna start calling you Dad instead. It feels so wrong to keep saying Daddy. Yet I keep saying it. But I'll show you a trick in a second when we extract. Nah, but so going back to Next Fest, right? So that apparently starts next week, and the stipulation for developers is this. At least on this, last time I was talking to a developer about it, this is the stipulation, right? You can only ever do Steam Next Fest for a game once. So like, there's naturally a degree of timing, right? You don't want to like probably do it too early. But like, because otherwise people might like taper off or interest might die out, so it's better to probably do it later in the development cycle, like a couple, like maybe like half a year before you release. And maybe they were trying to meet it but missed, but Nick, I'll try to remember Nick. Nick's much better. Okay. So for the most part, like any quest that says heavy rifle, like so the NDW-20 right here, that's an anti-tank rifle. Where are you? Did I just not see you? Essentially, so what you can do is you can look for quests here, and like the GM6, for example, right? You can do this particular quest, and say, for example, you don't see it. What you can do is you can cycle your quests. If you just hit back twice and then reopen your quest log, the quests you now have will be different. It's random, so you might see the same ones again, and you can do it a little quicker here too. If you come here, you can just do this, and then X out, and then come back and do it again. So you can kind of force quests to respawn for you if you're looking for a quest for a grenade launcher or for a sniper rifle. But other than that, yeah, like level 3, what's his name? Grillo will sell a grenade launcher. It's expensive, but yeah, it's 95k. I think it sounds familiar. It's like a story game about like World War One, right, Ross? It's like a narrative game, if I recall correctly. King of Kings. Let's not. I don't want to do this with him, because this will end up killing the Rat King. That would not be good. Yeah, like other than that, like for the most part, it's just quests. Just grind out quests to buy your stuff. Great grenade launchers. The XM25 is also a grenade launcher too. So if you see that quest reward, it's a grenade launcher. Essentially, just with how this game currently is set up, you don't even need to loot that much. It's just about doing quests. Whoa, Jamie, chill out there. Considering their current geopolitical climate, let's not explore this thought exercise. All right. I mean, I guess we'll do Scourged Enclave and see if he spawns there. Yeah, I'll look it up. Dilly, I can definitely understand why people no one like. By right now, Underground Cemetery is by far the worst map, and it's not even close. And it has its reasons why it's the worst map. And I would honestly even say Cemetery's problem isn't even the dog. It's partially the dog, but it's not even the dog too. It's more than just that. In regards to your AI, like, so yeah, apparently if I understand correctly, the whole thing is like there's probably AIs back home, but like in regards to like in charge of a theater, you probably have like a lesser AI in charge. So really like right here in this theater of war, the Los Angeles area, or Los Angeles area, we have probably 3 AIs duking it out. All right, well, unfortunately, I don't think I want Toothy to be real. I think let's keep the current canon where corn is biofuel, not people. What's good here? What the heck? Where the hell did you come from? I'm so dead. No? Yeah, 3 grenade launchers will do that. Oh, stagger. Never change. I just want to find the Rat King. In the meanwhile, let's go run some scrapyard. Like I said, the objective is 2 things today. A, see the Rat King once, and B, try to get nighttime scrapyard, because I haven't gotten it in forever. I'm just genuinely curious if it still exists. I'm sure it does. It's just probably a very weird chance. Are you still borked? Yeah, you are. I wonder why it keeps resetting. So weird. Wait, did it break it? Did it break again? Yeah, no, it's a wrong magazine. There we go. Oh, I don't have a 3rd magazine. Let's go talk to Gorilla real quick then. Magazine. There we go. Let me just buy 5 of these. Or 1 of them. There we go. Let's yeah, sure, why not? Plenty of 50 cal. And scrapyard. Was it ever? Yeah, I'm curious about Australia. Like I said, I think they're just holding it in their back pocket for if they ever want to do something a bit different. Wait, so I have a laser, right? I wonder why I can't see it on them, actually. It is just hard. It's weird too, because it doesn't line up perfectly all the time, so you can see like right here the laser is well off for point of impact. Actually, it's not though. Hold on here. I think the laser actually changes our point of impact. I need to try this now, actually. So you can see it like long range here. I think. Huh. That's a weird peculiarity. Does the laser change the point of impact of third-person aiming? I've never noticed that. I need to go try this out next run, actually. We'll bring like a scar with and without a laser. Actually, I don't think we can do two. That's an interesting concept too, Blood Panda, right? In regards to lore, like Antarctica could be like you might actually have like Oztica. Hold on. Oh, I can't. Oh no, I made a mistake. I forgot. Oh, I tried opening up the chat box so I can try to type like Azartica or Ostica or oh god. And I don't think I can choose. I don't think I can close the chat box when I don't have the HUD on. Whoops. I can't open console. I can't open this. Yeah, I think I'm hard locked actually. Whoops. Note to self, do not open the chat box with the HUD off. Yeah, well, I wonder if I die will it fix it. Come on, Drone, get to work. Drone, where did you go? Drone, kill me. Alright, well, Alt F4. We'll run it back. It could be a Warfare Zone 2, right? I think I've realized that before. I need to probably like mention that on a bug report. I wonder if they know. But no, like I'm sure Antarctica has tons of resources below the ice. It's just of like the ice needs to melt or go away first. But I imagine this like in this kind of environment too, you might have like mega structures to help like crack beneath the ice if it's still even there. Which it could be. It is the forever winter, right? You know, winter. Oh, nothing yellow. Oh, the only thing that happened yellow, if you're wondering about why I restarted the game, is because I forgot there's technically a soft lock when you are playing without a HUD. Don't try and use the chat box because there's no way of closing it. So you get soft locked. The other thing I want to try out too, though, is that it seems that like maybe the laser changes your point of impact in third person. But like Ludroth 2, probably update this month, I imagine, at least a smaller one, or a playtest. Conceptually too, that would be a very interesting faction. So like right now we have, yeah, snow would go hard. Right now we have Europa, which is like a very Western, just like NATO-esque kind of giant war machine kind of faction. You have the high-tech Eurasia faction. You have like the biomechanical Euruska faction, and like conceptually there is a very like, I don't know how to describe it yet, but like you could kind of go hard, very hard into like a robot faction, if you will. Much more so than like, not like in the sense of like robots as in like high tech, but much cruder robots, like very diesel punky robots. Not even Skynet Terminator. Like I have the idea in my head. I just don't know how to describe it right now. Let me think about it a bit of how to describe it while I figure this out again. Now, naturally, you're broken. Uh, 50 cal. I wouldn't even say it's like automations from Helldivers either. It's I'm trying to like, I have like a vague image in my head. I just don't know how to describe it currently. Wait, let me see here. Where's 50 cal? There we go. And you don't sell 50 cal, do you? Oh, you do? Holy shit. Frostsmoke automations is one thing for sure, too. Like, that would definitely, I think, vibe. Like, that's definitely, I would say, like, along the vein where I'm going. Like, these very kind of robust sort of automations. Like, very Frostpunky. Like, essentially think of it this way, right? Imagine if, like, you were a corporation or a country that was trying to, like, automate the extraction of materials from Antarctica. Like, what type of things would you make to do that? Okay, so we're running without a laser this time, because I'm very curious what happens with the point of impact. And, like, I wouldn't even say, like, Gunhead's more and almost more advanced than what I'm thinking, right, to Blood Panda. I'm actually thinking a bit more, like, much more robust or much more simplistic than that almost, too.
I hate the surface.
Oh no, the laser absolutely changes the point of impact. That's... Well, but I would say even like that's too advanced, right? Not humanoid, like almost stereotypical robots. Like robots that are designed to fulfill a function more than try to like imitate humanity or like an animal, right? Like, basically weird, almost aberrant machines in some sense. So, like, as opposed to having, like, high-tech cyborgs or, like, the biomechanics of Yoruska, you would have almost, like, a very crude robotic faction that doesn't try to conform to, like, a human shape, if you will. There is no laser. So, like, Nikolov, we ran with the laser before I restarted the game, and we noticed that, like, I noticed that it was basically changing the point of impact from the center of the third-person crosshairs to where the laser was pointing, which is fair, but, like, essentially, if I wasn't aiming in first person, the crosshairs in third person were no longer accurate. So when you have a laser equipped in third person, like, essentially don't use a laser in third person aiming mode. If you have a laser, you have to rely on the dots that you might not be able to see, or you have to rely on your iron sights. Exactly, Duffs. That's kind of like, because right now, all of like the war machines and the robots that we have, they're all very like human inspired or based, right? Think if like you were an AI trying to design the most efficient machines to scrape materials from like Antarctica. And maybe Australia too, right? Well, like, so Ben, we have 3 factions of that already, though, right? This is kind of like just a thought experiment with, like, what would be sort of the concept behind Australia, like, Antarctica faction. Oh, fair. Sorry, I mean, I'm used to people saying base in a different context. Damn you, internet, and your lingo. Yeah, I mean, like, you could go the route of just, like, having animals be robots. There's a lot of fucking Euruskans here today. I actually don't want to fight. Oh, you duffs. We have Australia become the cephalid faction? Okay. Where's all the Europans? This is the orange variant. There should be plenty of Europans here. Oh no, no, no. We're just shooting the shit, Yellow. We're just kind of like talking about how, like, because we know nothing about Australia, we're just like having fun with the concept of what would Australia be. And like Australia by itself is not big enough to probably warrant being a giant superpower. It technically could be. It's got a lot of area, right? If it like suddenly turned desert into usefulness. But like conceptually, if you attach that to Antarctica, it actually becomes a lot more of like an actual interesting superpower. But like, if we consider the current manpower reserves of, like, Australia plus Antarctica right now, it's not very high, so you kind of think they would have to be almost not based in a very human-centric sort of... Not a very human-centric faction. Where's all the Europans? Come fight these guys. Human factories? That's fair. You can have the clones of Australia. There they go. There's the fighting that we needed. No, go the other way, you fiend. Oh no, I believe you. Alaska's huge. Like, keep in mind, whenever you look at a map, like, keep in mind, as you get further and further from the equator, the size is very skewed, right? So like, if you want to see how big things actually are, look at it like an actual, like, represented map. Alaska is essentially fucking huge. Well, it's unfortunate. It's time to leave, 'cause I'm sure I'm hurt. Africa is technically part of Euraska. So Euraska is the Slavic states plus Africa. Eurasia is what it sounds like, Asia. Duh. And then Europa is Western Europe, you know, all of America, North and South America. And then probably some, like, considering we have Merkabas, it's including Israel. No, yeah, you have the Russian mercs in Africa, you have the US mercs in Africa. South America is part of Europa. Yes. What do you mean, Ben? I can still use painless without, like, I've played enough shooters where I know the center, where my center of my screen is. I don't have any issues with that at all. Alright, let's go back over to Ashen Mesa to see if we can find the lovely Rat King. But no, yeah, big thing is, I might have known this and forgotten, but yeah, the laser definitely changes your point of impact when you're in third-person mode. So just be mindful of that. Yeah, it helps. There's no reason why you think you need to, like, just because I'm doing it, yeah, play the game however you want, right? That's the beauty of single-player games, is you can tailor it to how you want to play. Speaking of, time for Vietnam Warfare. Just the stock M16. Yeah, critical, me too. I want to see more like weird units like that.
I hate the surface.
Yeah, Rat King is very rare. It's not even like rat runs in the sense that you don't equip anything. Or rat runs and like just try to be as stealthy as possible. Oh, I mean, like, yeah, but I've seen people to like mod the game to like replace the characters with like anime waifus. Hey, to each their own, man. Like I said, it doesn't affect anyone else, so yeah, knock themselves out. Is that wrecking? No, it's probably medium mechs. Nah, but like I've looked at the mod DB, right, and the mod DB is just basically all just model replacements. And like, let's be honest here too. Have you not seen Mother Courage and the Sims for Mother Courage? They know their audience. Like, personally, I don't really care about anime at all, but like, if that's your thing, go crazy. Yeah, like actually, like one of the mods too is actually like replacing, I think, Scav Girl with a Mother Courage model. I want to see a tank fly. It feels like genuinely the medium mechs on both sides can only angle their front guns like 5 degrees. So like if a tank's too close, they can't shoot it. If a tank's too far, they can't shoot it. The poor medium mech couldn't shoot down so hard that it died. Rip the medium mech. Conceptually, too, that's a very interesting, like, whole thought process also. Of, like, no. Like, mechs against tanks. No, it was the T-90s. The T-90s actually, the main cannons hit for a ton, all the tanks do. But, like, conceptually, too, right, you have a very large gun on a very small silhouette in comparison to medium mechs. It kind of feels like tanks would be very good at destroying mechs, right? Like a firing line of T-90s hull down would be almost like an easy way of obliterating mechs. I'm not even sure, Blood Panda, about what the argument you're referring to, but I'm sure it's come up before, though. Because conceptually, like, right? Well, yeah, like, well, conceptually, right, like, mechs have the rule of cool, but when you try to logically think of, like, how this would work, right? The mech size means it has to be bringing something to the table where, like, as a weapons platform, it's fair, because it's like, logically, it is like a fallacy, like, not even fallacy, it just doesn't make sense, right? The weapons a mech would have to actually use to bring, like, to warrant its size would have to be, like, so game-changing, right?
Spread out.
Essentially, the way I see it, though, right, like, if the weapons that the mechs need to be, like, almost so overwhelming. Like, sure, they can be glass cannons when it comes to, like, tanks versus mechs. But, like, the reason why you would have them, right, is because they would have a weapon that tanks couldn't possibly have in good number. Yeah, like, the way I see Blood Panda is exactly kind of that, in the sense of it needs to have, like, the weapon it needs to use needs to be, like, warrant its size, right? Like, a tank couldn't be this size because the power you would need doesn't work in that size. Essentially, what I'm saying is give the mechs a more ludicrous gun. Or just, like, you know, buff their current weapons, right? Sort of like 40k Titans, yeah. Like, I don't think we're ever gonna have, like, shield generators or anything like that, but, like, yeah, essentially, if you're gonna have a weapon that size, right, it needs to have a weapon so ludicrously, like, a very ludicrous weapon, right? Otherwise, what's the point?
When the report is in, it's raining bullets.
We good? Okay. Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Frickin' drones. Yeah, it's always a bit rough, Yellow, taking left-hand fights. Sir? Alright, time to skedaddle. Ben, that's a great point, because that's, like, in essence what I want to see too. Artillery, right? The king of the battlefield. Like, why wouldn't you have crazily sized artillery pieces in this setting?
On a day of close call.
Yeah, like, conceptually, right? Like, I can't see the medium mechs outside of, like, super technology being that tanky, but their role could be in the sense of, like, A, they have immense strength, right? Like, that could be a thing, too, conceptually, right? I raised this in my medium mech video for Europa. You can see on Elephant Mausoleum, right, that Europa actually, at least in this instance, right, there's a medium mech operating an in-place gun. So, like, a medium mech could just be a way of operating, like, stupidly large weapons, essentially. Like, in-place weapons. Like, if you have a shell that, like, weighs thousands of tons, right, that could be your way of operating a cannon that sized, is with a, like, with a mech. What are we looking for? Souped up M16 now? Sure. And we'll spawn sewers. This is a good spot to see it too. I don't know, Daddy. Yeah, like that's one part NASCO is the mobility of like rough terrain. Like in an urban environment, they make a lot more sense, except for the fact they can't currently pan their guns up. But I like in a rough terrain, yeah, like a tank wouldn't do as well as a mech. But you also wouldn't need mechs that size either too, like exos, like if they were actually like agile, would almost be better in that instance too. Yeah, there's the 50 cal bullet in my chest. Freaking cracked reaction time. Alright, well anyway. Wait, what? Unplayable. I'm just kidding. But like right here, yeah, we have like this, it's just the rule of cool, right? But we have this medium mech operating this in-place gun that currently has corpses, I guess, on it. But like stuff like that, right? Like in the sense of, yeah, you have a gun so ludicrous, like so large that like it wouldn't work conceptually without like a medium mech operating it. Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's the case for Europa though. Like, well, the pilot is the mech for Euruska. Jamie, possibly. The problem I have, Jamie, is that as you kind of see with us not getting Scrapyard, like, there's a bunch of scenarios with maps right now that it's insanely hard to reproduce them. It's essentially a ton of RNG. And so if I'm trying to like research a map, I usually can't get everything right, even though I want to, because I can't reproduce it. Say for example, on Ashen Mesa, apparently Toothy spawns at the timed extract. I believe people when they say that, but at the same time, I personally have never been able to reproduce it. And that's a lot of my reservations going into making more map guides, is it's hard for me to know a lot of the scenarios that can randomly happen. Not that I know of, like, the cheats I do have to free the cam and stuff like that, I don't think there's full, like, dev unlock yet. I haven't looked into it either for, like, a cheat log to spawn units. But, like, last time I checked, I didn't see one. Like, there's cheats in the game, but I don't think there's like level of granularity here. Yeah, I mean, there's always videos in the mechs. I mean, conceptually, I wouldn't want to get that far deep in it, but like in the tank versus mech debate, it's just like the ability to basically be just a giant gun platform. Like, like the ability for the tanks to be hull down with a giant enough gun to damage mechs kind of just like wins the fight, right? I mean, I personally prefer BattleTech. I like things that are somewhat grounded in reality. Like, don't get me wrong, Gundam's cool as fuck, but like, I kind of do prefer BattleTech just for the more realistic scenarios, but... And also, too, if that actually is, like, the area with the pilot, just, like, it just screams, shoot me with a Sabo round. Like, if the cockpit is actually the cockpit, like, like one tank could just knock this out. I did. When it came out, Big Thinkus. I haven't played it in a while, but I did play it a while ago, at launch. And, like, there can definitely be, like, logistical things, too, on, like, why mechs are around. Don't get me wrong. Essentially, this whole conversation is a way of me saying, in the sense of, buff the mechs. Like, their whole thing should be, like, they should be, like, the... Think of it this way. If you're going to have, like, a mech, it needs to probably be built around a gun or a platform, a weapons platform too, right? Or a purpose, right? If you design the mech first and then add the guns, it doesn't make a lot of sense when you're comparing that to a tank. But if you design the weapons you want first and then build the mech around it, it makes a lot more sense. Well, yeah, this is just its own thing. Don't pay attention to it. Well, mechs will never be real. Because, mud exists. You're right, technically the mech is hold down. Like, just let's not forget too about the whole thing with like German super heavy tanks, right? Let's make something so giant and so armored that like nothing could ever pierce it. Okay, get stuck in mud now. We lost to nature. Oh yes, the person in charge of government efficiency wants to make something that's wildly inefficient. Peak. Well, Jamie, a big part too, right, is you need to have mechs that are actually, like, spreading their weight across properly, right? Like, And I will say, like, conceptually too, right? These mechs aren't the worst for that. They do have some pretty wide feet. Like, they're not terrible. But considering we're in, like, a war-torn environment where there's nothing to keep... There's, like, not trees to actually keep the mud from just being mud, right? It is just a fucking pool of dirt and water. Daniel, it's good. We should be getting a patch sometime in the near future. Hopefully this month, but it's good for now. Yeah, like, conceptually for me, Blood Panda, right? That's the whole, like, that's where I would start at. There's permafrost, Jimmy, that is true. There is permafrost. Conceptually though, like, that's where I would start with Blood Panda, is like, you would make something that large and humanoid because you need to replicate the functionality of a humanoid at a large scale, right? So like, operating super giant machinery or operating super giant weapons, right? Like, operating a very large and placed platform by yourself is like something I can see sort of like the reasons why you would have a giant humanoid mech. Ruh-roh. Maintenance too, or just construction. I know there's like already what, like 3D printing bots? Hold on. Oh, restricted. That's nice. Thanks, Twitch. Holy shit. Twitch has got to the point now where they actually can sense when someone's trying to subvert a ban. Those silly bots trying to sell me viewers. Oh my god, what the fuck? Why were you there? I was looking at the other screen! What the fuck, dog? This is the fucking Twitch view seller bot's fault. Fuck, I just got ambushed. That's not fair. Clever girl. Hold on. Also, me saying clever girl has no bearing on me picking a Spaz 12. I swear. I promise. Has absolutely no bearing, no influence. Jamie, I can see that, yeah, like, for example, they started out as like a construction mech or like a large scale operations mech, and then converted them over. I can see that.
I hate the surface.
I'm going dog hunting. Why are you bringing up Jurassic Park? I have no idea what we were talking about. Jurassic Park. Rat King, you want to show up today? No? Alright, good talk. Are you shooting me? No. Wait, do I hear a mech? Nope. No. Alright, we're good. Dude, Nikolov, that makes it like, if that's the basis for the medium mechs of your Usk or Europa, that makes a lot of sense then, right? Like, they weren't supposed to be weapons platforms, but they kinda got turned into that. But it also makes me want to see them actually in that role too. I would love to see like in-place weaponry on maps. At least this map, right? It would be like so fucking gnarly to see like mechs in the back lines, like launching shells. There's also the cruise missiles too, right? On the Titans. Man, I imagine. I want to see the explosion from one of those cruise missiles on the Titans. I think it's entirely random, Lewis. Like most things. There could be conditions, but they're just entirely unknown right now. Yeah, there really is. It's kind of why I want them to explore the idea also of like intermediate areas. Like non-combat intermediate areas. Hey, Dyer. So like, if you're unfamiliar with this concept, right, it's essentially having to travel to different maps. So say, for example, we wanted to go to Scorched Enclave, right? Maybe we'd have to go like to Alpha Mausoleum first, use an extract in Alpha Mausoleum, and then from Alpha Mausoleum we go to Scorched Enclave. But in between Mausoleum and Enclave, there's like basically like a non-combat area, like a camp, if you will, to like store supplies or so on and so forth, or just take a quick break in between raids. And then in that area, it'd be a very cool way of providing like backgrounds or ambiance or just like a spectacle, right? So say, for example, like one of these camps, right, was in a skyscraper, and you could like during your little break go see like the battles off in the distance, right? And they wouldn't be like dynamic by any means, but it'd just be like a cool vista spot, right? It'd be a way of making it like basically a map environment that its sole purpose is just to like look cool. No. Oh, snipers! Why is it always snipers? Why are you? You're a sniper. Why are you in a trench line? We good? We're good. I feel like those snipers are on crack, by the way. Their reaction time is so quick. It would make more sense if they were using a slug shotgun then, as opposed to just no-scoping me from point blank. Alright, well, we're good here. Oh shit, thanks! Thanks for the 5 gift subs, Tim. Appreciate it. Very kind of you. It's not even like, the biggest thing about the snipers too is like, until you look at their gun, they look exactly the same as most your open infantry. And so like, unless you just like stare at their gun, it's so hard to tell when you're about to get smacked for 500 damage. And it's not even that, it's like the stagger too. The stagger is just so deadly. I probably need to update my emotes on Twitch. They're all still from Dune.
Slowly but surely. Again. Something
Who doesn't enjoy a good shy HUD? Oh yeah, like that's the whole thing, right? It's like their current, weirdly enough too, actually, if you pick up their sniper rifles, if they're disabled, I think they repair to like an NDW, I think. They don't actually repair to a scar. It's been a while since I've done it, but like they actually do not repair to be a scar. But no, like they smack so fucking hard. Wait, do you not have the drum mag? Come here, you. I wonder why nothing's saving. All right, back to scrapyard. I wonder, is it just probability? I'm just so curious what about scrapyard where I can't see the night variant. You should be able to see Twitch messages too. Is it not connected actually? Let me see. Sometimes it will disconnect occasionally. Oh no, Twitch fell off, hold on. Okay, it should be fixed now on Twitch.
I hate the surface.
For some reason, I don't know why Twitch does this, but it disconnects from my little tool to have multi-chat on. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I will say, I actually do like the sound of the unsilenced RPK now. It sounds like the appropriate level of meaty. Yeah, it's all good. It's gonna have a like it's all has a delay no matter what. Just from latency. I wonder if time of day... I'm genuinely curious. It would require... Conceptually... So... Hold on, I'll make it clear this out quickly. I am curious if, So... There's an IRL timer, right, in the game, right? So, your game knows what time your clock says. And I guess it technically knows what time zone you're in, too. I wonder if you, when you play at night, you're more likely to get a night map. So, for example, right, I'm US EST, so I'm GMT -5. It's 2:19 p.m. right now here. And I notice on stream, we rarely, if ever, get night shifts. It's not very often. I'm really curious. I don't think so either. But, like, I have not seen a night shift scrap. Like, I'm not saying it makes it, like, actually like a super high percentage. Just actually possible, right? Because I haven't, remember, I only play when I stream, And I haven't seen Scrapyard Nexus Night Shift in forever. So, like, maybe tonight I'll, like, just try running this back to back. And see if I can get it to spawn. Like, I'm not saying it makes it, like, binary, right? It's either off or on. But, like, it might affect percentages. It would yellow, but, like... At the same time, too... I'm trying to rationalize why I would use an IRL timer. No? Fuck. God damn it. Yeah, it's so weird, Kaz. It feels like there's almost like a hidden conditions. Like, if it's just like straight probability, right? It feels like I should have, like, almost, I don't know. It's just so weird. Like, sure, I could just have like a very large stretch of being unlucky for Scrapyard Nexus Night Shift. It just feels so weird. Have they hypercritical? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I will say, when I'm doing like recordings, I now have B-roll for most maps to help out with this issue. But like before, if I needed to get like footage on like a night shift of a map, I would have to reload the map a lot of times sometimes. Like, I'm talking about like 30, 45 minutes of reloading a map. Oh, I was apparently really close to dead. All right. So like occasionally if I'm trying to get like footage of like night shift Ashen Mesa, it would occasionally take me like 30 minutes to re-roll until I got the actual map I needed. And that's basically me loading in, backing out, loading in, backing out, loading in, backing out. Yeah, those grenade launchers hurt. Quite unfortunate. For a lot of reasons, not just that yellow, I would prefer them. I would want to do it off stream though, Easter-up. I don't want to mess with all my settings on stream. I don't think I have any PHI on my machine, but like, or yeah, like basically personal information on my computer, but I don't know either. So I don't want to dox myself accidentally. It also would like, Easter-up also, you know, it would be a lot of me still like, technically speaking, the experiment I would run is I would like do it after stream and I would like get like 100 attempts, right? And I would record what I would get after 100 attempts. And then I'd move my time to like, you know, 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning and then do it again. And that would be very boring to watch. Do you want to watch me go back and forth 100 times and see if it's something changes? It has MG34, correct. Weirdly enough, too, the MG34 in this game is like one of the few guns that are actually like been dystopified. Oh yeah, the few screenshots are like the art that we have from the newer maps, Lewis. Does look nice. I'm curious. Like one big thing also, I want to see like the indoor buildings too. I want to see more buildings around that we can interact with or go in. They put a bed out and they changed it around a little bit too. Well, so yeah, Nasco, in regards to that, like I do, the system I have in mind, right? I mean, it's the one I have on the Discord, right? I posted in the feedback area, or the bugs area, I guess, because it was before they changed it. Was essentially like that, right? Like changing over to like a day-night shift variant. Like you basically would rebalance water to be based on like the progression through days, and one day shift and one night shift made a day, right? And either of those are optional, right? Like you could run a day shift, you could run a night shift, you could run neither, just pass the time if you'd like for some reason, if you wanted to do that. Maybe for like a vendor reset. But no, I think moving over to like a day-night cycle or just a very static progression of time would help normalize the experience between different types of players. And it feels a bit weird too conceptually also of like, I know like there's some players who will just like basically sprint through a night shift if they get onto it. Did I not bring a jump? I didn't bring a jump. Like conceptually too, right? Like why would a scav go out when they knew they go to nighttime? And there could be scenarios too, right, where you might accidentally get nighttime. Say for example, if like they added a day-night cycle along with the fact of like transit times, right? You might have to leave or go to like a map on nighttime to make sure you arrive to a different map during the day. They are, but like there's plenty of people too, Lewis, who just like straight sprint through the maps. All right, so no Rat King. Is Goldbrick here? He is not. I don't know. I imagine the sniper is dead. So one part yellow is that they'll usually spawn on night shifts. However, if you have the quest for the corpse tank yellow, if I didn't miss my jump, that'd be great. If you have the quest for the corpse tank, you can get one to spawn right down here during the day shift. But I believe it requires you to, yeah, it definitely requires you to have the quest to actually get it. Otherwise it won't spawn. I mean, night shifts make sense, Lewis, but at the same time, like, randomly finding yourself without any agency on a night shift's a bit weird. Like, as a part of a mechanic of, like, transit or, like, being necessary, it's a different thing, but in regards to, like, randomly finding yourself on a night shift, like, it feels weird that your character has no concept of time, or watches extinct. All right, you're not shoot throughable. It is true, they do live very far underground, right? But I still feel like it is the concept with night shifts is like something happened in the sewers and you got like delayed. Oh, we're not currently to the point, like, if I wanted to one-shot them, I should have brought a 36M. We're not currently at the size yet where we one-shot everything. I weirdly enough, I actually will say, night shifts, for the most part, are much easier than the day shifts. Because essentially almost everything during the night shifts is melee. Now, the only exception is the grabbers, really. The grabbers are a pain in the butt on night shifts, but like cyborg-wise, but the courages, orgamechs, like heavy brawlers, those are all, for the most part, pretty easy to deal with. Where? Take a bag. Is there a... Oh, it's a dead guy. I was like, where's that light coming from? It's from the corpse. Understood. Are you okay, sir? No? Okay. I mean, well, night shift. It's the weird thing with night shift Ashen Mesa, right, Tim? It's probably just the rule of cool, but like, conceptually it points to something in the atmosphere, right? Something in the atmosphere or something in the space, blocking out the sun. And like, if you didn't want one of the factions to have that, you could have it be sort of... Am I getting...
Bad place. Full of bad people.
So if you didn't want to have a faction that had control of it, like, say for example it was in space, right? And you didn't want it to be part of a faction, it could be like an old structure before the war that's essentially been, yeah, it's an HK. Like, knocked out. Probably pictures, I imagine. Just existing. But knowing this map, it's probably a picture. I think it's time to leave. Ow, ow, hey! Considering this map and loot all, I probably picked up 3 pictures. They don't like you picking up their pictures.
Another day. Ooh. Another reason to stay alive.
But like, so if they didn't want a faction to have control of that, it could be like an old structure of like really any faction that during the war was basically nuked and rendered like basically offline. So it could be like an old Eurasian structure, European structure, so on and so forth, that does block out the sun when it passes, but it's basically inanimate. It's been knocked offline, if you will. Well, yeah, like, it could be that too. Like, space travel's not big nowadays, but all of this stuff, like, all of the high-tech stuff for Eurasia does say it's manufactured, essentially, in space. And keep in mind, too, so we're 40 years past the start of the war. Allegedly, according to that. It could be longer, too. It could be, like, just forgotten. But, on that kind of vein or thought, In low Earth orbit, stuff that was there would have decayed by now. So like, medium to high Earth orbit, sure, is still fucked. But stuff in low Earth orbit could be like perfectly safe now to repopulate with satellites or space stations or so on and so forth. It does not take that long for stuff to decay in low Earth orbit. They constantly have to reboost themselves. Nasco, thanks for stopping by. It's not exploration though, it's just logistics, right? Like they're not going to the moon, they're not going anywhere outside the, you know, the gravity well, they're just going to put stuff in orbit. In low orbit, that is, right? Like, it's not a concern, right? Like, they're not trying to escape the planet, but they are trying to use it for their advantage, right? Because, like, you know, if the Kessler effect, which seems to be the thing, right? Like, you can still have full-blown Kessler effect in anything that's not low Earth orbit. Essentially rendering any space exploration impossible. Rat King, where are you? And the reason for this thinking too, right, is like, you know, along a lot of the Eurasian's items says manufactured in a micro-G environment. And now there's only two things possible, right? A, they're making stuff in space, or B, they have ability to manipulate gravity in the gravity well of Earth. Which, if that's the case, how have they not won the war? That's such high technology. Like, if you have the ability to basically fuck with physics. So, like, I'm gonna choose the more grounded of the two options. I mean, Duffs, you are correct. It would explain the cows. If they have anti-gravity technology, it would explain so much. The helicopters are actually just using that technology, Duffs. The rotary blades are just for show. Hey Daniel. Not much, we're just kind of playing around. Tanks flying too. No, Ludroth, it makes perfect sense, right? So the tanks actually have... The way the tanks work in this setting is by default they have the... Like, they're made out of anti-gravity material, and the engines they have on are suppressing that technology. And so, when the tanks die, their ability to suppress their anti-gravity technology goes offline, and then they start flying. The lore is the tanks want to fly, but the tanks are built in such a way where the power is being made so they don't fly. But when the tanks die, they fly. It's definitely not that it's bugged. It's definitely not that. There are no bugs in this game. Only happy little accidents. Alright, no gold brick here. Exactly. Same material, anti-gravity. Oh, good old Black Ops. No, go after them. No, leave it. No. Yeah, sometimes the velocity on cows is crazy. Yeah, I mean, I got 2K of it, right? I'm sure I'm okay. Ooh, flashlight. I can see now.
Sure.
Goodbye, jump.
Good luck.
Weirdly enough, Daniel, they actually have like a small desk fan at the back of the balloon as their means of propulsion. And when I say desk fan, I basically mean a desk fan. They are that small. It is absurd. The balloons are too small, the fans are too small, the cows are too big. It's preposterous.
Don't miss. Make every shot count.
Give me all your alcohol. I really do hope we get a fully modeled Titan one day. I do want to explore the entire insides of one eventually. I guess there's really not that much here though too, right? It's mostly just hangar space. I don't think there's pastures in this environment. I think it's all like lab-grown cows. Thank God I have this flashlight that goes 5 feet. We good? We good. Well, it's not necessarily that, right? It can't all be front lines, but at the same time, like, the actual, like, environment can be fucked worldwide. Like, sure, you might have plenty of areas not in conflict, right? But, like, you know, the weather, the atmosphere, the shit in the air, bioweapons, nukes. Like a big part of Eurasia, right, is that like part of their technology is that they have figured out a way to make the soil arable again. And like their whole thing is that they have the technology to do that, which kind of insinuates Europa doesn't. Arable. Not edible. Arable. Essentially, soil that's usable. Actually, Yellow, I will say you actually are correct though too, because there is fertilizer in the game, and apparently you can't eat the fertilizer, so I guess you are correct. Okay, I'm actually pretty here. I need to leave. When you hear these sounds, it means I'm around 100 HP or less. Now I can't leave this way, but I'm gonna go around this way. Actually, well, I already came down, so that's kind of. Can I get around this way? Actually, I would be surprised if I could. Yeah, it's kind of working. Oh shit, it does work. Nice. I don't think we're supposed to go this way, but I'll be up. Duffs, who doesn't enjoy a tactical cow? I mean, Blood, if you take a fine tooth comb to a lot of the maps, a lot of the maps are like that currently. Like, and that's like the case I made too on my post, is like I'll like a lot of the terrain on maps right now will just eat bullets, but that's probably because a lot of the like terrain on maps just needs another pass. Oh. Fancy seeing you here, friend. You're an HK. Why do I get you so often now? I'm genuinely confused, because like I never used to get these HKs, and now I get them literally all the time. Not HKs in general, but like the Orgamech HK. Like, what changed to make you spawn so consistently? Dad, it's the guns. It's just being able to use all the guns. Oh, and by the way, this is how you counter the Orgamech. You just go in circles. You can't beat it. I probably do have cigarette zombie. Quick, send this to Miles. He'll love this. He's slowing down, he's giving up. I make one video on you, and this is what I get. Alright, well, good talk. Bye. He's just walking toward me, menacingly. It's like that whole thought experiment, right? Yeah, if you got like $1 billion, but you had a snail that if it ever touched you would kill you, would you take it? The snail is unkillable. It will always snail toward you slowly. And I'm really low HP. There's like a bunch of premises too, right, with drops, like where like you couldn't contain it. It would like walk through walls or something like that, or walk through containers. Like the only thing you would ever have is distance. Yeah, like essentially, like the whole premise is like think of it this way, it's not necessarily a snail, it's just something that moves as slow as a snail, you can't stop it. Like it's constantly moving towards you at the pace of a snail, and if it ever touches you, it kills you.
Whittle them down and we
Other than that, it basically doesn't follow the rules of anything, right? It'll just move towards you at that pace. I'd like to leave, please. Why is like there 1 HK doing over there? I don't like the drones. The drones are actually a huge threat right now. You get like, yeah, you basically get like infinite, like not infinite, but you get like you get a large amount. Like I would consider, okay, here's the thing. You say gazillion. For a normal person, $1 billion fucking dollars is essentially a gazillion. If $1 billion, if you think $1 billion is not enough money, to how do you want to like conceptually? I might be dead here, we'll see. Yeah. Remember, a billion is 1,000 millions. Like, it is so much fucking money. There is a reason why, like, people say there should never be billionaires, because conceptually, no one ever needs that much fucking money. They don't react to light, at least not yet.
getting there. Slowly but surely.
You could buy probably a lot of countries with that amount of money.
Some, at least.
Well, maybe not a lot of countries, but some countries. Like, a billion is an insane amount of money. Isn't like Liechtenstein like a whole place for like rich people though? Also, we didn't find Sniper Sweep, we didn't find Payback, we still haven't seen Rat King. But like, that is conceptually the thing, right? Like, if you were so rich where you have $1 billion, you should not feel the need to want more. If you feel like there's a hole for you, if you feel like there's a hole missing in you when you have $1 billion, it's not money that's going to save you, it's something else. All right, third time's the charm, right? We're gonna see Rat King and then all of the guys now. No, that's a good point though, right? It is essentially a game, right? That is how they view it.
surface.
I mean, it's not the moon, right? It is perfectly spherical, though, which, I mean, like, would you really make a perfectly spherical space station? I mean, it can't just be the moon. The chemicals in the sky are making the scabs gay. Oh man, hey Nappy. Also, apparently staring at eclipse is insanely bad for your eyes. So like, if this was really an eclipse, I'd be blind right now. Checkmate. You want me to stare longer? Don't you look at me like that. You're being rude. Stop staring. I said stop staring. Little fucking jaw. We good? Dragon Tear, if you're having a bit of issues, if you have an NVIDIA card, go to your control panel and increase your shader size cache to 100 gigs. For reference, I have a 5800X and a 3080. And I usually sit around 60, give or take. Well, yeah, well, the case is right. It wouldn't be so. The quirk with so low Earth orbit is not geosynchronous, right? The satellites that would want to be geosynchronous would have to be high enough in space, essentially, where they would be subject to the Kepler effect. So the things that the space stations that they would actually have access to here, to put into orbit in low Earth orbit, would not be geosynchronous. They would be cyclical, right? They would only show up ever so often. The Kepler effect is essentially this, right? It is essentially space debris getting to such a point where it essentially makes launching new objects into space impossible because the objects currently in space hit those and cause more space debris. Essentially, it's a cascading, effect where you can no longer leave your own gravity well because of the shit you have in orbit around you. Kessler. And while that still rings true, like, so basically, I can't remember what the exact distance is. There's a certain distance, right, where things will decay. The further out you go, the longer it takes, almost exponentially, for those things to decay in orbit to the point where they actually fall into Earth again. And so when we're talking to things that are only like, say, 500 kilometers and up and less, technically way less than that for low Earth orbit, they would, in the span of a human lifetime, actually decay in orbit to the point where they burn up or crash into our atmosphere from drag. But outside of that, right, you get to basically to a certain point where it's impossible. Dragon, he's probably talking about VRAM, not regular RAM. They're two distinct things now, and like they were just distinct things. Games in UE5 and just newer games in general care a lot more about having VRAM on your graphics cards now. Okay, I need to stop shooting. There should be a grabber here soon. Yeah, so yeah, 1070 Ti has 8, which should be for the most part enough. Like, people who have like 4 to 6 are gonna have issues. You have 8, should be. It's not gonna be a VRAM issue for you. It's just gonna be like basically a speed issue for you. And like, if you want to get to a very high degree of granularity, you can Google NVIDIA Profile Inspector. Now, keep in mind, this Profile Inspector is a few different things. It essentially gives you insane ability to customize your game's performance, at the caveat of the developers of a game can't plan for you to use a tool like that. So you can change settings that might negatively impact your game, because the developers weren't planning for that. And 2, you can't use it with games that have an anti-cheat. You can, but it depends on the anti-cheat they're using and the level of control they have. Some games will flag NVIDIA Profile Inspector as incompatible, because you can fuck with the settings enough where things don't render anymore, essentially giving you contextual wall hacks depending on the game. Or like, for example, not having foliage render in. But if there's a certain setting in the game that's causing you a lot of issues, you can try messing around with it instead of, you know, just control panel. There's a learning curve though, and it basically is a registry editor, so just keep that in mind. It's for a power user, it's a tool you could try using. Yeah, conceptually, like, that's always the issue I have too. Like, I love the idea, like, back in the day, right, with PUBG, I even used, like, the fields to cover, and it was really cool. But the problem is so many players will try and circumvent cover like that with, for example, Profile Inspector. That it's just, like, it's not a consistent way of playing the game, because there's times where people are gonna shoot you. Because they don't see the grass that you're currently in.
Fill those pockets quick.
Yeah, it's it seems like it's like a pretty overlooked issue from the developers in regards to PvP games. They just tend to forget about grass and render distances until it actually starts mattering. Yeah, I stopped playing PUBG like maybe like a couple months after they released the desert map. Haven't really got back into it since. It was definitely big for quite a bit. I think it's still, I mean, it's still big now. Like it's naturally, I'm not saying it's not big now, but like it was wild before. Like everyone was playing it.
Damn, close call. On a day of close calls.
See, like that's the weird thing too, right? Like that was kind of easier than the day shift, right? Because the thing was shooting us. Granted, we didn't see a grabber though, so like that's why it was easier. It's entirely like binary or polar, right? It's either like, you know, if we have a grabber on night shift, it's immediately, you know, suddenly a lot harder than it was before. But otherwise, it's really easy. Well, we tried. Let's go do a quick Mesa or Enclave to see if he wants to spawn. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the quests right now either. I think the whole like kill quest line is a bit too Tarkov. Like, it feels a bit misplaced. Like, we're not supposed to be that guy, but we're getting all these quests to be that guy. And they could just be placeholders for now, right? Like, it could have just been like, we need to get, people want this in early access, we need to get it out in early access, let's make up some like very simple quests. What's that, Ludroth? What have you even tried? What have you not tried? Rat King? Rat King? Nope. Alright. I'm sure you can kill him. Oh, if he runs off? Okay, that's fair. See if he magically unbinds himself. Like the other scavs do. Well, yeah, well, that's like kind of why I want to, for example, a much more like different water system to kind of drive that a bit, right? Where's all the Europans? What the hell? There's no fighting going on right now. Did we go around the spawn trigger? I thought it was just like one giant one, but maybe we missed it. I just heard a tank go by. Oh, there it goes. There it went. You could barely see it off in the distance. It's so fun hearing the tanks fly by. You can tell immediately. The little Doppler effect. You actually had a sniper rifle, like an actual, factual NDW. And a BT. Is he breathing? He was still alive. No, it's basically just RNG. If he heads this way, he bugs out. If he heads this way, he bugs out. If he heads this way, he bugs out. If he heads this way, he will actually leave. So, like, it's mostly still bugged. It's basically just RNG if it completes or not. You have like a 1 in 4 chance to get it to probably complete. Okay. Yep. Ooh, box. Tank box? Exo box. I imagine they all have chronic back pain at this point. Their vertebrae are just fused together.
As perfect a day as any.
What are you trying to shoot them? Yeah, he is. Freaking snipers, man. It is. It's because like the spawn trigger is just this one giant zone. And things just will keep respawning while you're in it for the most part. Can I ride you? I haven't tried. I'd probably just bounce off. Are you angry at me? I have bad news. I gave him to the impulsive thought. Okay, here's the thing. We can ride the tanks, but we can't ride the Exo? Come on. I'm sorry, I'm just going crazy over here. I'm just trying to find the Rat King. Maybe my sacrifice will help me summon him. You know what? I think it's MPL time. Actually, let's go over to Old Man. It's not even a dull thunk, it's like they have a repelling field that we just immediately bounce off of. I will say, it feels like it's on purpose too. The fact that we can ride a tank but we can't ride the mech. Oh, we did it. My first nighttime scrapyard in 500 years. It's a historic day. I have the wrong... I had the MPL equipped! This isn't good. Well, gotta be efficient. I mean, the moon is pretty big. But like, here's the thing too, right? It takes like a couple hundred years for like an eclipse to happen in the same area. So like, every time we see the eclipse on Asha Mesa, it's been couple hundred years, right? Maybe I shouldn't actually fight you guys. I don't actually have ammo to fight them, so let's not. Why would the moon get closer? I think it's going further away, isn't it? Very slowly. Like, it's not quick. It's like gonna be like millions of years before it leaves our orbit, but like it's slowly moving away, not closer. What if we nuked the moon on the other side? I don't think it would move it by that much. Hold on, go ask, like, what's this, XC, XD? How many nukes will we need to, like, push the moon into us? I mean, we have a lot of nukes, but at the same time, we would have to like probably configure them to be able to go to the moon. And like, they had to go on the backside of the moon, right? Not just this side of the moon. You don't see me. I am but a metal beam on the wall. Idiot. Get fooled. I was a metal beam. I was an old man.
Worth the extra weight.
Whoa, I did not say they had factories on the moon. Me saying they have space stations is not me saying they have factories on the moon. Give me your loot. Uh-oh. No. Kessler effect, right? Nothing outside the gravity well. Only in low Earth orbit. There could be space stations, right? But yeah, I don't think... And like... Don't get me wrong, you could try threading the needle, it's just like a probability item, right? Oh, shit. You know, I feel like scary music should be playing right now. I am out of bullets. I had an MPL, I could have sworn. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. I missed. I didn't mean to mantle. We need to have a talk. There needs to be a key for mantling and a key for jumping on a railing. There are so many more scenarios where I want to be on the railing, but not mantle. It is, by the way, the reason why too. Hold on. The pneumatic jump is so great because it lets you jump without mantling. Yeah, rip night shift. It was fun. I enjoyed it. We almost got out. If I had my MPL with ammo, we would have gotten out. But I did not notice I did not have it equipped. Very sad. Oh, that's why. I forgot. I entirely forgot my bum hand. It's such a... It's gotta be the hand, right? Why he can't use this SMG? Conceptually, it's a bit weird, right? Like, what else could it be other than the bum hand, I guess? Yeah, sure, I'll level you up. Like, what about SMGs make it not usable? No, I mean, I don't think it was oversight. It was definitely intentional, right? I'm just wondering why he in particular cannot use those. Let's go over to Mausoleum, actually. See if we can't find us a Rat King. Let's talk to Aramaki real quick. I am so sorry. How would you like 81 cyborg heads? There you go. He likes me again. Alright, SMG ammo. Like, it could be just conceptually like his hand doesn't work well. So Nightfall, I kind of get the vibe that we're not going to get many more maps than we currently see. Enough of the maps probably require some TLC, some love here and there, so that like after they release the whole entirety of the maps, we might see some like not reworks, but like some additions here and there to other maps. We're kind of already seeing the case of that with seeing that case with Elephant Mausoleum too. Yeah, it's like, it's Dragon on that point exactly. It's weird that he can operate the complexity of assault rifles, but not SMGs. Maybe he's just like he's a stubborn old man, doesn't want to use SMGs. Like, he wants a full caliber gun. But like, no, you can see here too, right? We actually have like some newly added walls that are not textured yet. So they're already touching up some of the old maps at least. Hey, maybe it could have just been they were having issues with rigging, and they're like, fuck this, no SMGs for you. It's now canon. Is this meat? Yeah, it's definitely meat. Does like a 3D printer come around and just like, when it finds a corpse, it just throws a fucking cross into you? Kind of feels like the case, right? When you die, a giant F robot comes by and pays you respects by throwing a cross into your chest. Yeah, Elephant Mausoleum is one of the older maps, and then like it is like the testament for Nanite, right? the 3D brushes, essentially. I hear a dog. Are you angry at me? There's no way. Well, there's like, so if I understand correctly or recall correctly, essentially during the night shifts, like 3D printing robots will come out and start repairing everything and like building stuff up. And so like if part of the 3D printing robot's job was making like, for example, like cemeteries, it might come by, see a bunch of corpses and logically think, oh, there's a bunch of corpses here. This is a cemetery. What do cemetery needs? Grave markers. They need crosses. And so they start basically fabricating a bunch of crosses into the corpses to like say, oh, hey, this is a cemetery. Now, naturally, the dog should be distracted by the giant air open squad there, right? All right. Hey, gimme, that's a fair point. Vampire soldiers. No. No. I said no. Ah, yes. Safety. This is a nice room full of safety. Probably pretty well if it comes to cyborgs. I mean, like, they don't really have, I guess, I mean, there's spitting zombies, right? There's spitting zombies, right? But for the most part, most zombies don't have AKs. My immersion is ruined. Also, nice hair. I didn't actually see it yet. Look at this hair. Am I full? Yeah. The curse of Scav Girl's inventory. Where'd the grabber go? I mean, we heard the grabber. Yeah, her walk is so slow once you're filled up, and then it's like her sprint speed's like Mach 1. Where the hell did the grabber go? Did it like run away? So, oh.
Big boss headed this way.
That was terrifying. I'm gonna need you to stop teleporting, friend. gonna go to a different extract.
Finally.
I mean, I think it's technically saw me. The grabber does have like it's a very different perception system to like every other unit in the game currently, where it will like see you if it's got like an unobstructed line of sight to you, almost regardless of distance. It will generally aggro. Yeah, the can opener. I feel like they probably have heard the criticism, and apparently the patch they're working on right now is like an AI patch. So we'll see how it fares after that. But I do agree. I'm not really a big fan of if they're gonna have a horror unit that one-shots you, there needs to be a lot more countermeasures or mechanics around stealth than we currently have. So many medium mechs.
Where to rush?
I mean, like... Hey, Star Fury. Like EMP, not even like an actual stealth mechanic, and like the problem is too, once you aggro it, it essentially does not lose that aggro until it despawns, and even then it can persist, right? It needs a system where it forgets about you. And like it needs to have a way for like you to reset it, right? Like either by hiding or say stunning it or so on and so forth. Like for example in Alien Isolation, right? When you get the alien to retreat with like a flamethrower or distraction or something like that, you're back on like the equal footing, right? Like you're back to like that stealth mechanic game, right? You're not to the point where it's like actively murdering you or aggroed. That's kind of what's missing right now, is there's no way of kind of resetting the aggro on the dog. Once it knows you're there, it's attempting to murder you the entire time you're on the map. Welcome back, Jamie. 5 for 5. I don't need that much. Still haven't seen Rat King yet. Let's go over to Mesa and see if we can find him on Mesa, perhaps. We're gonna spawn Bunker here. I usually don't like spawning Bunker, but there seems to be this consistency where the sniper on Action Mesa will just spawn at Bunker and immediately die. And like, I think a big aspect too is that I think some of it shouldn't start in this state all of the time, but I definitely think some of the time the dog should start in a much more passive state. And like you fucking up wakes him up. Like say for example on Cemetery, right? The dog is hibernating or inactive. And like if you, the first time you draw aggro or do something that causes the dog to wake up, it then becomes active. So Shaman is kind of... The only character right now with an activated ability is Gunhead. All of the other characters are just loadout based for the most part. So the way how Shaman is, right, he's essentially a better, I don't want to say better scav girl, but a much more quality of life focused scav girl. So the container we're carrying right now for Scav Girl is a pretty good container. It's like the best the lighter characters can use. She has to unlock that. Shaman just gets that right off the rip. He doesn't have to unlock it with his level ups or experience. which is a much nicer feature in my opinion. He's a little bit tankier, but not by much. Just 100 extra HP, really. But when I was learning the game, he's my favorite character. He doesn't have the ability to use every gun in the game, unlike Masked Man. But like, he is almost as fast as Scav Girl. Doesn't have to bother with leveling up to get the better rigs. And he actually, in his skill tree, does get the ability to make his rigs better. Not by a whole lot, but it does help out. But I personally don't like juggling rigs very much, so I mainly stick to Shaman when I was leveling up or learning the game. But now I mainly just play Masked Man because of the guns. He gets to use the best rig in the game, the Pack Mule, and then he also gets to use basically every gun in the game except for the 1 HMG. What did I do to deserve this? Is this 3 pictures? Oh, water map, I think. No schematics. How did I get an HK? What the? Like, I picked up a bit of 50 cal. It had to be the schematic too, right? Yeah, the leveling up experience right now, the experience system is not very good. And so, like, that tension with Scav Girl and the Old Man are why I played them the least. It also feels like 2 Old Man, Scav Girl, probably the 2 earlier characters. It's all very placeholdery, though, too. Alright, any stuff in here? Nope. Let's go see if Rat King is here. Oh! Rat King, Rat King. Now, unfortunately, there are 2 medium mechs that are going to probably murder Rat King. Stay away from him. Okay, I need you to kill things so I can pick up your residue. No, no, don't, no Tokyo drifting. I swear, this T90's trying to run me over. He's gonna get no fucking kills, I swear. Ugh. Residue. I need the residue. Oh god, that hit me. None of these are Rat King kills. That's one right there, I think. There we go. Residue. Oh, cool, you're real. Well, Rat King is dead. I will say though, at least he got one of the mechs. That's pretty solid work. I'm surprised he got one. And if you're wondering why they don't look destroyed, well, I have great news for you, early access. They do not have death animations yet. They just have T-posing, or mech posing. Well, I got 1 out of 25. I got some residue. I wonder, are you solid still? You are. Tank fly. Go, go, go. Stupid frickin' smoke. Oh. It is a beautiful sight. I missed. All right, are we gonna see the fabled Toothy spawn too? Let me go around this way. Oh yeah, it's a pilot. Let me take cover here from the drones. I still have not seen him spawn here. Never experienced it. And we're good.
Easy enough.
We just have to do that 25 more times for this quest. Yeah, we got 1 out of 25. All right. I will say, like, the only downside, though, of Mausoleum is like, his despawn trigger is much more aggressive. He will tend to just, like, poof out if you go really anywhere. Alright, we haven't done Frozen Swamp all day. We've met our criteria, right? We saw Rat King once. And then we got Nighttime Scrapyard. Her reward is Frozen Swamp. Good there. Swamp. Let's see. Tag the cargo. Transmit data. Schematics. We'll do Titan Wreck then. It is true. I also got Scrapyard without a dog. Just the brawlers.
Remember, we keep what we kill.
So fast. Probably. There are two during nighttime also, right? There's one at Pipes on that map during nighttime, and there's also one at the Trench. Weirdly enough, too, you actually still, during the nighttime shift, have medium mechs deployed to the trenches. I think that's probably just an oversight, though, not intentional. Alright, need to find some schematics. Yeah, very glad I didn't go in the back way. Definitely would have got some pop in. Alright, well, they're all dead now, so we're good. I said you're all dead now.
Heavy brass incoming.
Well, I'm probably pretty hurt now. There's two. And then three. Alright, so we gotta tag tag the cargo and then data waves. So over to the train. Conceptually, too, Star Fury, I find it curious how, like, a lot of the spawning for the cyborgs will have them crawl out of the ground. I wonder if that's still going to be the case in the future. Like, do they actually, like, burrow and hide? Or we'll see other ways of having them deploy in the future. Like, there are the bombers, right? But, like, for the most part, all the cyborg spawns will either spawn off map and come in, or they'll, like, just pop out of the ground for areas in the middle of the map. Yeah, like on, yeah, for example, on Mesa, they'll, on the, near that one extract, they'll just climb out of the ground, but the ground itself is like 1 inch deep, so they're basically crawling out of the void. Alright, now for data waves. I think it might be better here, actually, if we go the long way around. It's probably gonna seem a little bit convoluted, but... Are you lowering yet? I literally cannot tell if you're lowering. Okay, it is. It's so slow. It makes so... Well, no, it makes no sound. Maybe, actually? Maybe Blood Panda. I would have to go, like, look at it a little bit closer, but probably, like, potentially, reuse some assets. My hand is going through my glove. I actually want to go a little bit wider than this too. I don't want to go this. I want to go a little bit further to the left. Oh, do I have to go through that way? That might be the case, actually. Can I go to the left over here? Yeah, there we go. I want to avoid the drones if I can help it. Well, like a Nidus worm, Lewis? My god. I mean, I could see it though, too, right? Why not? Though, like, there is like a ton of tunnels around though, right? Alright, so our last quest is Data Waves, which is the injector site. But, like, I don't think I have enough HP to really go through the staircase or even the elevator. So I'm taking the very slow way around. be like a Nidus worm for Eurasia to like deploy cyborgs, I guess. The only downside, right, is the amount of tunnels around. But I'm not sure about, I'm guessing if why am I killing so much or not so much? So in response to killing too much, I don't have the ability to heal because of my own requirements, not because of like anything else. So being much more proactive in killing things is playing a... I've only been killing cyborgs really, but it's sometimes better when you don't have the ability to heal to be proactive, because I don't really have the ability to make up for damage I take. Like, say for example, if I run away from getting shot, right, I can't ever recover that HP, so sometimes it's better to actually kill the people before they engage me if I think I'm gonna fight them anyway. But in this case, for example, I'm actually trying to avoid a fight by taking the long way around here. And also, I shoot drones because fuck drones. Drones will end up shooting you for no good reason, and they'll kill you. So when you see me shoot drones, it's because the drones deserve it. They know what they did. Hey, Delta. Drones have a real knack in this game for just randomly shooting you. So like, it's generally pretty wise if you see a drone that's loitering in your area just to go ahead and murder it. The only exception here being, will you please go off? You're making me look dumb. This was a great idea until you decided to camp the frickin' window. Alright, we're good. Oh, fuck me. I did not see you there. Okay, you cannot execute an EOD. Sniper? Yeah, fuck that. So, case in point right there. I might have been able to do the objective without killing those snipers. Is it worth me dying? No. So, my choice was to proactively liberate them from life. Because otherwise there's just a chance they might one-shot me. And now we leave. I mean, I would be upset, Ludroth, but I would be like, hey, that's pretty cool. That's pretty swell. Yeah, True Moon, for sure. Like, there's just this, like, knack for drones just to, like, not aggro in the conventional sense and just start murdering you from afar. So it's generally, like, just a safe bet if you're not gonna aggro too much, just to knock out drones in your local area. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to land on the fire. It would have been so bad if I died. Well, does he fist fight you by, like, shooting you instead, though?
Easy enough.
So if you're talking about the brawlers with the RPKs, it's hard. They're by far the deadliest enemy in the game that you can reliably kill yourself. You essentially have to make sure you engage them in cover. If you start fighting brawlers in the open, you will just die. And there's not really a way around that. Unless you just like nuke them with grenade launchers immediately. So just take cover and then use your right hand angle. Thanks, Jamie. Right-sided angle. And then like headshots really, like if you have a 36M or an NTW-20, a sniper rifle really, that's a true fire way of doing it with headshots. But like if you're using like a 9mm or like a 5.45 AK, it can be a lot rougher. Rumble. So like we can just go to scrapyard and do it too, yeah. Scrap, I mean, the problem with like shotguns though, like shotguns are really strong right now. The problem though is conceptually is it's hard to find a good angle with a shotgun against those brawlers. Like you can find one, but if you take the first stagger from them, you're going to be taking a lot of damage and you're going to be in a really bad way. Like, naturally, auto shotguns will carry you no matter what for the most part. But typically, it's headshots with the anti-material rifle for the most part. Scar works heavy too, but like, if you're okay with not using a silencer, the Scar is actually really good at annihilating brawlers. The shotguns will stagger them, but it's kind of iffy still. This is the wrong variant, unfortunately, for the brawlers, but. Yeah, but like an RPK. Yeah, pistols don't really have a purpose in this game, really. The only pistol with a purpose is the grenade launcher pistol for characters who can't use regular grenade launchers. But like the Scar, the NTW-20, the 36M naturally. They're all things you can peek from cover from and instantly kill a brawler with. Yeah, a pistol slot would be nice. Yeah, conceptually too. I think they can do a lot more with rigs. I don't think there's a lot of. I think they can do more with rig slots in the game. I think I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but I would love to explore the idea of, as opposed to having two primaries, you have a primary and a pistol, and what you can do is you can have like rigs that let you bring in extra primaries. So say for example, like the double gunrunner rig, as opposed to having one side be for like picking up guns, one side's for additional primary, right? Yeah, Truman. So for the most part, yeah. The way you typically want to, it's different for each gun, but for the most part, aim about like, as you can see here, 1 dot down. That's about how misaligned most irons are in the game currently, or most scopes are in the game currently. It does vary, but for the most part, that will get you about where you're trying to aim. No, all the guns are misaligned. first person aiming is bad in the game right now. Don't try and rely on it. Essentially, the rule of thumb is aim at the bottom of your post or aim about a dot down. But that can vary depending on the gun. But like when you're aiming in third person like this with the crosshair, this is accurate as long as you don't have a laser. If you have a laser on your gun, it will go off the point of impact of the laser and not off this crosshair here. No, it's a bug quest. It doesn't spawn on Mesa. What's it called? Scorched Enclave. It's like the first thing I check every patch. They're like, we finished the fight, we must now form a line immediately. We must be in line shape. It's like they're trying to make a line, but they can't figure out how to put 5 people in a line in this room, so they keep resetting. I believe in you guys. Come on, make a line. I know you guys don't have grade school anymore in Europa. There we go. They did it. They did it. Holy shit. They finally made a line. They figured it out. Those are some fucking very smart Europans there. Cream of the crop. That is why they're elite. They don't make the big bucks for nothing, right? They get paid to make lines. Nope, they're huh? There they go. Nope, they're still bugged. Are they shooting at? No, they're shooting at the robots. The robots. I can't stop myself. I was hoping for a stealth. Oh, god damn it. Ow. Oh, fuck. Why is it always the fucking snipers? Alright, we're leaving. There was a hidden sniper in that squad of Europans. I'm very hurt. Am I getting followed? Leave me alone. I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty sneaky tactic though. hiding like a high threat sniper in the squad of your opens that you don't tell it's a, like that's the whole thing is they look so close to be the same, like you can't spot the individual sniper in the squad. And then it hits you for all your HP. Life check? Oh yeah, no biggie. Not even close. I mean, they're honestly probably one of my bigger causes of death, right? Like, number one's definitely my hubris, but right after that, it's definitely snipers. Time to be very sneaky. Let's see here. You know what? Let's bring a pistol. Let's be John Wick. Well, it's not even a sniper scar too. It's the model of the sniper scar, but like it in reality hits you like an NWT. It hurt real good. I think it's 600 damage per hit, if I recall correctly. Ooh, a night shift.
I hate the surface.
I'm gonna see some cultists get murdered by a dog. You know what? We're gonna take the safe way here. God damn it, the book's over there. You're probably wondering, are you supposed to be able to come up here? Probably not. But I do it regardless because it's so damn cool. Probably not. So I think the plan is to wait till he goes back and then jump down and then get this, go through the tunnel, and then leave through that way. A little bit of fall damage, but that's fine. We need our book. Alright, book acquired. Now we go down to the sewers. Apparently it's supposed to help a little bit, but it doesn't negate it. Like, I think they have it configured where if you have it on, you don't take fall damage if you just jump straight up and fall back down. So that little bit's like mitigated a bit, but not much more than that. Of course you broke. Of course you broke. Y'all break. Freaking defective doors. Are you guys shooting the prisoners? Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, there's not much here other way, right? They're over there fighting right now. You can hear them. They're getting milled by cyborgs. Be free. Freedom for you. Freedom for you. There you go. Be free. I raised my concerns in my video on the game currently about this map. It's got its issues. It just, in essence, it just plays the same every single time because of the dog. But like, if they removed the dog too, it wouldn't really fix the map anyway, because there's really not a lot to it. Like, it's a vibe, but like gameplay wise, there's not a lot here. But it certainly does have a vibe to it. I just remembered I actually have a jump. I don't know. Well, I guess it probably makes noise, so that's a reason why not to do it. But you can just jump up here with pneumatic jump, so. Like, there's plenty of water here too, but like, you don't really need water at all. When quests give you 5 billion water quest. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah, that'll happen a lot too, right? Where something else will piss off the dog and it takes out its anger on you. The AI will do that a lot too, right? For example, with the pot shots, where like 2 AI units will be fighting and they'll just like occasionally shoot at you and then go back to fighting each other. Yeah, I mean, like, keep in mind too, like, the entirety of the game for Alien Isolation was built around the alien being the basically the biggest and sole threat in the game. But like, just needs a better AI. It also just needs a lot more gameplay around it too. All very shallow right now. Well, the biggest thing, right, is like, once you draw the dog's ire, there's no way of resetting it, right? Like, you can't stun it, you can't like stagger it, you can't, well, you can kind of stagger it, right? There's no way of like, once you piss off the dog, of like really breaking the aggro.
Ooh, another reason to stay alive.
Yeah, that's a big part, right? There's not a lot of special bespoke, like there's not a lot of special loot for each map, really. It isn't quest related. We got all three though. It's like, don't get me wrong, it's a nice change of pace though, I will say. Like, having a map that's just pure stealth is nice. But like, it's a nice contrast to every other map because it's just a stealth map, but like, it is just very one-dimensional in that regard. If their goal is just to have a stealth map, it's fine, but it does just kind of play the same even from a stealth aspect. I don't feel like I have a lot of agency on that particular map when playing. Like, it's a map where I'm going through the motions and not necessarily where I'm making choices. Yeah, like, yeah, that's essentially the case with the HKs, right? HKs have an omniscient knowledge of where you are when they spawn, and they just will head towards you. And they're one of the few units in the game that are not subject to like despawn triggers.
I hate the surface.
So like, once they spawn on the map, they will persist on the map until you leave. Yeah, like, that's one aspect too. The dog being kind of... I actually think the doors... The sheer amount of doors on the map probably do it a disservice currently, because it makes the pathing and the jankiness of the dog really bad and has it kind of break the rules that seem set up. I think conceptually that trapping the dog is probably a bad idea from a gameplay perspective, because it just creates a bunch of weird scenarios, right? I'm probably already low HP from this. Very good. The way I view HKs is they should have approximate knowledge of where you are, but not specific knowledge. And they should react to like... Essentially, the HKs should react to like... Okay, so say if you do something, right, where you piss off a certain faction, they will deploy their HKs to the map. And the next, they're deployed to the map, but they don't know, maybe they'll go to the last spot where you were like at, right? So say, for example, you killed a European squad in this area, so you'll get a notification the HKs are deployed, and they will spawn off the map and then head to that area and investigate. Now, any other further action against Europa will have the AI for the HKs get updated, so they now understand where you are and they begin heading there. but maybe not when you fight other factions. So say, for example, you go fight the Yoruska faction after that. Naturally, the Europa faction doesn't care if you go fight Euruskans. They actually probably like that. So they don't get updated from there. However, say, for example, you piss off Yoruska, they deploy their HKs, and now you have Europan and Euruskan HKs now hunting you down. And they get updated with information from units. And maybe, for example, too, you have different HKs from different factions get updated in different ways. So, for example, if a grabber was deployed to hunt you down, it might have a different means of tracking you as opposed to being updated from its faction. It might actually follow your trail. So if you're too slow, if you bog down too much, if you don't go quickly enough through the map, that could be through the thing with the Euruskan grabber as an HK where it actually catches up to you. It's not accurate yet, but like, yeah, it actually hunts you.
You got some sort of plan?
But no, yeah, like I'm sure too, like they understand that they shouldn't have omniscient knowledge really. Can you elaborate, Lewis? Hey, Jacob. Yeah, it probably can't predict what the scav's gonna do, yeah. Like, it might not have battle plans for a random faction, right? It might, like, know the general doctrines of a Euruskan infantry, but it might not know the doctrines of just a lone scavenger. Let's go around this way, I guess. Mech is one, yeah. I'm kind of like interested too conceptually of how rare Mechs are. Are they a fairly common unit in Yoruska, or just like that's one conceptual thing too, right? Like, maybe there's a degree of escalations also. So say, for example, Yoruska, let's say for Europa first. Say, for example, you kill some European infantry, and they get pissed off, so they send hunter killers after you, right? The hunter killers track you down through like comms, and they engage you, and then let's say you wipe them out. And so they go a step further and deploy their next tier of HK, which for Europa we probably don't have yet, right? But in the case of like Yoruska, right, like the Mech could be one of the higher tier HKs, essentially like saying that you can fight the HKs if you want, but they're going to escalate if they deem it necessary. Can I even get across this hangar with the Mechaneer? I don't. It usually tries to leave too, though, I feel like. I'm not sure if I can get through this way. You know, I'm gonna try. Mechs do, they're pretty slow. The tanks are the ones that don't. But like... Okay. So, that's not great. Fuck me. Yep. Yep. No, yeah, the mechs do 100% aggro. Like, that was cursed no matter what I did. I probably should have just, like, not shot that guy and just left with taking that in the back. I mean, maybe for, like, for a very specific item, Little Papa, sure. But like, for example, the pictures, the data caches, probably not. But like, if it was a high tier item that would make sense to have a tracker in it, probably. Like, if it conceptually made sense for it to have a tracker, sure. Like, that could be a drawback of like a very high tech item, right? Is like, it's trackable by the AI. But like, for a thing like a picture or a data cache or an instrument or so on and so forth, or just a bunch of loot, I haven't used the vector in forever. Too many, Blood Panda, too many. It's not my fault, I swear. It's the game's fault. I guess let's run it back. We didn't finish it, so. Oh, and by the way, if you actually want to make sure that doesn't happen, just take Flames of Disruption, right? Yeah, I think the biggest thing, though, too, is just, like, it's very important they don't have omniscient knowledge, because nothing is as annoying as getting shot from across the map. No, it's not. What's broken about it for you, Jim Bob? But no, like getting a shot across the map by a bunch of EODs with MG34s is kind of annoying. And like it pulls you out of the immersion a bit too, right? It just feels like, what the hell? Oh, I don't know why it didn't count for you. I know that multiplayer, it can be a bit weird sometimes. If you're playing with a friend and trying to do it, it can be inconsistent with quest credit. But single player, it should work. Yeah, like no, multiplayer is very weird with quest rewards right now. It will not register sometimes. I get it, you're upset I killed your friends. Well, no. Don't you clip to the floor. Bad XO. Let me bring you over here. Oh, the patrol already respawned. It's pushing the bodies. That's awesome, actually. I didn't know it could push bodies. Let me go. Oh, it's about to say I need to leave. I'll go the other way, okay? I'm sorry. My God. No, yeah. I mean, Ragey, you know it, yeah. There's a lot of clipping things in this game. Not a lot of collision. All right, time for some hacking. I said before though, I actually weirdly do like this minigame. It's a good mix between complicated and simple, where like if you're under duress, it does actually have some intensity to it. Oh, for sure. I mean, we've been getting a pretty good cadence with patches, True Moon, for sure. Like for an early access game, we've been getting a patch like every 2 months. Which is, it's a very good cadence. I personally expect like a patch every single quarter, and the fact they're putting out like one every 2 months is, I would consider pretty breakneck. I think they can do... I don't know how mapping works on Unreal Engine. I've never done it on Unreal Engine. But you can set up usually things like clipping zones and so on and so forth, so like units, as certain units won't go into certain areas like that. Like they'll basically view it as like off limits. And so like you basically can kind of cheat a little bit by saying like, this is off limits, you're only allowed to move in this area. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's no need for this violence against me. No. Yeah. This room is like a death sentence, I swear. Is there more coming behind me too? Yeah. This room is like a death sentence, I swear. I think it's in between. I think the problem is it's in between like spawn areas, so like you'll still have the units that's essentially you have the, if you think of like the med bay room, right? The room we're in, and there's a room next to the med bay room with another squad will spawn. Well, True Moon, have you ever played the game without a silencer? There's a huge caveat here where we are loud. We are very loud. That's fair then. But like, it's better now. They fixed the railings quite a bit, but before the railings would eat bullets even worse. And so like you would get shot at, but you couldn't return fire. But like, no. That room is like in the center of like 3 different spawn areas. Reggie, no one knows.
I hate the surface.
So you can just pull a lot of patrols that way. I generally don't like going that way. There is a lot of stuff that can happen in that stretch. Mainly just from like, yeah, the exo, medium mechs, cyborgs, lots of your open spawns from long range, especially with no silencer. The comfiest scav? I mean, I will say Maskman's garments look pretty comfy right now. That's fair. You mean like what I'm doing right now, for example? I haven't used gunhead yet today, actually. I usually switch it up quite a bit. Like, I usually default Maskman, but then change it up ever so often. But I've not played gunhead today, no. But like, so you have this room here, which has this spawn and then the spawn outside. It's attached to the med bay, which has its own plenty of spawns. But the biggest thing is, though, is I'm pretty sure you also get the spawns from this room over here, which is like this area right here. I mean, considering the context of Forever Winter, I feel like it's probably cold. Why is there one random guy behind me with like no patrol? Oh, there you go. Alright, time to leave, I think. We're probably getting pretty low. I mean, there's cold deserts, though. Like, being a desert doesn't mean that, like, you don't have to be hot to be a desert. Like, technically a tundra is like a cold desert, right? I guess it's more just like cold grasslands, really, but... Oh, I didn't do this. Oh, no. I feel like, too... I mean, there could be plenty of disease, though. I mean, Scorched Enclave does give off the illusion of being hot thanks to its warm colors. I mean, think of it this way though too, right? For example, you can probably imagine Mars is very cold, right? But Mars has that red color to it, just like Scorched Enclave kind of does. So, like, while we think red means hot, doesn't necessarily mean it's always the case. What map are we doing? Well, keep in mind, like, we're not in that big of a geographic area, right? Like, temperature-wise, it's probably all the same, minus a few degrees here and there. So, Blood Panda kind of plays into my other point, though, too. Like, there could be this, in the, we don't know this isn't the case, too, right? But, like, if it was really warm, I feel like all of the flesh around would be just rampant disease. Yeah, it's... You have a little bit of ammo. I have a really bad idea. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize in advance. Hold on, where are you? Well, we need you for sure. I have a real bad idea. I guess this is one of them. That will work. There we go. There's the other one. I think it's Eurasia who says kill Pyro. Yeah, there you are. We're about sent on a quest to kill some units at long range with Painless while jumping. The grenade launchers for self-defense.
Unit 7 and 6 reporting clear skies ahead.
Alright, let's trigger the spawn. Alright, spawn's triggered. There we go. Let me up. Is Gunhead like heavier? Does he jump not as high? Did I get him? I got him. No, I think, wait. Yeah, we got him. Good old suppressing fire. You're witnessing a turret. You are seeing a live turret at play here. I am the advanced turret. Hold on. Alright, there's 2. I'm pretty... It might be all 3, actually. I just don't know. Oh, there's one. Hold on. Got him. Alright, now we just need pyro. I mean, like, you should probably avoid cemetery if you don't want to play with dog H-Rub. Are you coming over here? No, you're not allowed to come over here. we definitely weren't doing that to be efficient, H-Rub. There might have been a slight amount of meme in there. But you are correct. Short bursts. Short bursts are much more effective, but full auto is very fun. Pyro? I guess I hit a wall. Oh well, the kill bot did his job. we completed our assassination quests. And all we lost was a robot boy. We can rebuild him. It's fine. And I will say too, I do thoroughly enjoy... If you haven't tried full controlling the recoil of Painless, it's a doozy, but it is fun. Alright. That's it for today, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on Get It Monday. Have a good weekend, and maybe we'll have patch this or next week. Probably next week, I guess. But thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, all.